The rifles this year were especially diverse. We had ultralight mountain rifles, lever guns, semi-auto carbines, scout rifles, heavy-barreled precision rifles, handy deer guns, one very specialized urban sniper rifle, and plenty of hybrids designed to serve multiple roles. And today we bring you the best of the best, shooter approved. Number 5. Nosler 21, $2,295. We've heard users sing praises of Nosler's new Model 21 over the years, so this win wasn't unexpected. The way it handled for us on a dangerous game hunt in Zimbabwe last year certainly left a positive impression. That said, this win wasn't a sure thing either. The competition among the hunting rifles this year was fierce. Strong showings by Proof, Christensen Arms, Marlin, and Weatherby kept the race neck and neck until the end. The Nosler 21 delivered solid scores across the board. Its handling, workmanship, and aesthetics impressed all the judges. In a field of extremely accurate rifles, it held its own. It happened to turn in the tightest group of the test, a 5-shot, 266-inch bug hole with Federal 140 grain SMK and average 885-inch groups across the board. A couple things in particular tipped the scales in the Model 21's favor. The quality that the test team mentioned repeatedly in their notes was the rifle's superb balance, not only in terms of how well the gun ran, but with respect to its design, features, and price. The rifle's 7-pound 4-ounce weight hits a sweet spot for a big game hunting rifle. It's light enough to haul over rough ground, yet has enough heft so that it manages recoil and unsupported shooting positions like a dream. The carbon fiber stock is stiff and has good texturing for a secure grip, and the Mac Brothers Evo Action ran extremely well. The rifle comes with a Trigger Tech trigger that we dialed down to a 3-pound setting and gave a crisp, consistent break. Internally, the rifle has some great features as well, such as toolless takedown of the bolt so it can be serviced in the field, and an innovative self-indexing recoil lug design that gives the barrel extra threat engagement. For a solid all-around big-game hunting rig, you won't find a better rifle, and that's exactly why it won the Outdoor Life Editor's Choice Award for 2022. Number 4. Accuracy International ATX, $4,995. Accuracy International threw down the gauntlet when they introduced the ATX last year. They wanted to put all the makers of rifles for long-range competition on notice. AI, as you might know, makes some of the best sniper rifles in the world, and their historic focus has always been on military and law enforcement. Despite the expense of their rifles and the fact that they are built with the battlefield in mind rather than shooting matches, a devoted number of civilian shooters have used their rifles in competition. The ATX is AI's first purpose-built competition rifle, and it has a number of design elements that shooters in field-style matches like the NRL, PRS, and RTC will find appealing. The forend has a flat bottom that incorporates an Arca dovetail that extends straight back to the mag well. This is the most notable change in the stock from other AI chassis. The mag well has a cut to easily insert and remove mags, which are released by a broad paddle-style lever in front of the trigger guard. The stock is festooned with AI's proprietary key slot cuts to attach accessories. AI's key slot predates and is superior to the often derided key mod system, but it does mean a shooter will have to invest in AI-specific hardware to affix rails and other accessories to the stock. One very nice feature is the quick barrel change system. By loosening a single set screw, the shooter can swap barrels. The 2-stage trigger is remarkable and provides outstanding control. The trigger on our rifle broke at 10.4 ounces, has a flat face, and is adjustable for trigger reach, one of the many dimensions that the shooter can alter for a custom fit. The rifle delivers exceptional feedback. All the members of the test team commented on this quality. Even when shooting tiny groups, which the ATX does at will, it was easy to call our shots when the trigger broke. The bullet holes appeared exactly where you expected them to. The ATX inspires confidence. Number 3. CZ USA 600 Alpha, $749. The 600 series is the future of CZ's centerfire rifles. Introduced in late 2021, this platform replaces the previous actions, which, while beloved, were comparatively complicated to produce and out of step with more modern firearms manufacturing that favors modular platforms. That modularity was evident with the product launch. CZ kicked off the 600 era with 4 distinct configurations, creating rifles with vastly different missions. The Alpha is the base model, the economy version if you will, and while the other 600s might have fancier stocks and more tricked-out features, none of them can match the Alpha for pure value. In fact, none of the other rifles could match the Alpha in value either, which is why it won this year's Great Buy Award, by a comfortable margin. The Alpha is a solid all-around big-game rifle that won't break the bank, and it is built in such a way that it will happily do just about anything you ask of it. It would be perfectly at home in a deer camp, hanging in the rear window rack of a pickup, taking a bead on a prairie dog, or just punching holes in paper. It was more accurate than a number of rifles costing twice as much or more. The average 5-shot group from the Alpha measured .814 inches, with a number of groups measuring less than .75 inches. The 600 series has a couple interesting innovations built into it, including one of the better and more idiot-proof adjustable triggers we've ever seen. The adjustment screw is located right in front of the trigger and has 4 easy-to-see settings you can choose from. At the lightest setting, ours trigger pull was a sweet 1 pound 11 ounces. It also has a curious safety that is a cross bolt that runs vertically through the grip, with the top just behind the bolt shroud and the bottom located just behind the trigger guard. Pushing down on the plunger puts the rifle in fire mode, and with the safety up the bolt locks into position, which is a useful feature on a hunting rifle. The detachable box mag sits nearly flush with the stock, and because it has a double stack design, it's able to hold 5 rounds. The Alpha has 2 rail sections on the receiver for mounting a scope, another nice value-added element. If you've heard about the CZ600 before, no doubt you heard about its switch barrel capability. Unfortunately, CZ has had to walk back on that feature. Going forward, all 600s will have their barrel permanently affixed in place, and they've issued a recall for the 600s they shipped out prior. Number 2, Smith & Wesson Volunteer M&P 15 XV Pro 14.5, $1,569. This was the only AR-15 rifle in the Best Buys. With the Volunteer series, Smith & Wesson is looking to ship well-appointed rifles that are ready for duty or competition right out of the box. This is accomplished by blending their base MSRs with top-notch furniture and accessories. In the case of this carbine, it comes with a 14.5-inch barrel with a pinned PWS muzzle brake to push the length to 16 inches to avoid SBR regs. It has Williams Gun Sight Company folding sights, a 2-inch section of M-Lock Picatinny rail, a B5 Systems SOP mod stock, and is set up with a mid-length gas system. On paper, it's a sweet system, and for $1,569 it should be. Unfortunately, this rifle was less than the sum of its parts. While the flat trigger felt nice, it was creepy and at 4 pounds 14 ounces too heavy. The safety was very stiff, requiring excessive effort to manipulate, and the accuracy, 2.65 inches, was run-of-the-mill. It performed like a typical and basic MSR, not like one costing twice the price. Number 1, Marlin 1895 SBL, $1,399. The reintroduced Marlin 1895 SBL, now being produced by Ruger at its Mayodan, North Carolina factory, has garnered a lot of attention, and for good reason. Not only has Ruger rescued the beloved Marlin brand from the brink of destruction, but it's making the finest production Marlin lever guns ever. The 1895 SBL was Marlin's first model to go into production following the acquisition of the company by Ruger. It is an appealing configuration, a short-barreled 45-70 in stainless steel stocked with an attractive gray laminate stock and equipped with an oversized lever loop and an XS sights rail and ghost ring sight set. The 1895 cycles through the 6 rounds it can hold quickly and did so in a reliable, consistent manner. The precision-fitting CNC machined and EDM cut components eliminate the slop that can bedevil some lever guns and make them hang up. The average 5-shot group from the Marlin came in at 1.66 inches. With the right elevation and windage hold, the Marlin is capable to 300 yards, but its happy place is shooting that's up close and personal. The fit and finish of the stock and metalwork is a step above the Marlins of old. The checkering is the best we've seen on any modern Marlin production gun, while the engraving on the metal is tasteful and attractive. By any yardstick, Marlin is back and its prospects are brighter than ever. That's all for this video, folks. See you another time.